Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video tutorial, we're going to be making a quilted bag that is similar to the one I'm holding right now. This particular one is going to have leather handles. If you want to know how I made this bag, this exact bag I'm holding, please go watch my previous video. But for this particular bag that we're going to be making today, it's going to be a quilted bag with leather handles. It's going to be very simple and easy to make.
I'm using this leather. The measurement of this is 14 inches in width by 13 inches in length. I'm going to be needing 2 of these. I've cut them out. Also the foam, remember I'm going to be quilting out foam that is a bit bigger than the measurement of the leather. I'm going to be quilting on this leather. I'm not going to be using chain handle like this, so I'm using leather handle. I will cut out the handle. The handle measures 4 inches by 28 inches. All right, but we need 2 of these. I have sewn one. I'm going to be explaining to you with this. We also need zipper panel, and this measures 2 inches by 11 inches. We're going to need 2 of them. I also cut out the linings for this zipper panel. I'm using suede material for the lining of this bag, so the lining are a bit bigger than the zipper panel. We have our zip here. Remember, the zipper panel is 11 inches in length. I'm simply going to take like 14 inches for the zipper. I have my zipper head here. Let me fix the zipper head. This is how it comes. Then take it like this. Then you take the other mouth of the zipper, the other teeth, and insert into the hole. From this other edge, just open it like this, so it goes. So it's not equal here. It's not also equal here. Okay, guys. So I'm just going to trim it to get an equal edges. Trim it from here. So I'll just trim it. Get the measurement now. Remember I said we are going to take about 14 inches. So I'll just cut out this part of it. So this are zipper. I've cut out this part. This one is going to give you that bottom shape. All right, guys. In this particular bag, I said I was going to make it simplified, especially for beginners. So you don't need a bottom panel separately. The only thing you need is just the main panels, which are 2. Not to explain, I got the bottom, guys. Quilting this now. So this is the ruler I'm using. What you do, you just take your ruler, you place it at the edge of the cut out, the panel that you've cut out, like I'm going to do. I'll just place it at this edge. Okay, so I'm going to be using chalk to mark. After I've placed it like this, I'll take the ruler, placed on that mark. There's a mark here with a yellow chalk. So that's how I'm going to continue the process for the first stage. So I'm going to take it to the machine and sew on these lines. So once we've sewn, we'll come back to do the other cross lines. This is the color of thread I'm using. Matches with the leather color. So I'm just going to be sewing on that line. That's what I'm basically doing. Then I'll cut. Make sure you top stitch when you get to the end. Continue in that same manner. Back stitch. Get to the head, I'll back stitch also. Can you see what I'm doing? So this is what I'm going to do until I get to this edge here.
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you. Not doing well, don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would.
This is it. I've sewn on the line. So next is to make the second cross lines. So I'll just take my ruler, place it on this point at the edge here. Then I'll mark a cross mark over the first stitches we made.
Just thinking about you, not doing well.
The last one, I'll just place it here. This is the last one. I'm going to take this to the machine now and sew on these lines to quit it.
It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe.
So on, guys. So I'm going to remove it now. This is it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim off this excess foam now. So just take it and trim.
Don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay
We want to get this area of the bag cut out. This way is going to give the bag a kind of a button shape. I've done this first one. I'm going to do this one that we just quitted. I've cut out the one that we're going to use to cut out the bottom, and it measures this 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. I'm just going to place it here and just draw around it like this on the two edges. So I'll just cut out. So I'll do the same here using this template. I'll place it like this, then I'll mark around it. I've cut out the two now. So the next thing I'm going to do, we're going to be fixing this handle. So I've sewn one handle of the bag. I'm going to be doing the other one now. Remember, we have the cutouts. I've talked about the cutout and how I got this middle mark here. The handle here measures 28 by 4 inches, guys, by 4 inches. All right, I have a middle mark drew out from one of the edges. I just measure out 2 inches. I measure it up to this place and join the marks together. We are going to apply gum on this surface, then we'll fold the edge towards this middle mark that we've made, and take this other part of the handle, which is the edge, and fold it this way. So after folding like this, you are just going to join them together like this. So I'm going to do that now. That's how we got this. So guys, I finished applying gum to the wrong side of the leather. This is the handle. You just allow it to dry for 5 to 10 minutes. So once it dried, you're going to take the edges like this, just fold it towards the middle, and you can use your hand anyway like this. Just smooth it in place, but ensure you are folding it towards that middle mark.
don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long.
Fold. So once you fold like this, you take this other edge like this. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and top stitch on it down to this place, and also top stitch on the other edge down. This oil, machine oil on my hand. You can either apply this on your needle or you can apply on the leather to sew. It makes it easy to sew, especially when the leather is a difficult one. So back stitch. Then put my needle down, kind of sewing. Ensure the two edges are at the same level like this. Just keep sewing.
Don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you,
And turn and come back stitch. Let's take this off. This is the handle. I just finished making it, so I'm going to be fixing it to the hand. Let's get the position of where this handle is going to be placed. From this edge of it, you just take 3.5 inches. I'm going to make a small mark here, so I'm going to place my tape rule on this mark I made, so just close to it, measure about 3 inches down. I'll just place it close to that mark. Here to here is 3.5 inches. We also made 3 inches mark, which is at this point. You do the same here. Here to here is 3.5 inches, so I'll mark 3 inches down here. You can make a cross mark anyway, so I'm just going to place it like this. I'm going to turn. So guys, so now where I'm going to stop, I'm going to measure 1 inch and 2/4, like this point, the point you are going to stop sewing. So just turn, and I ensure I follow a straight line. So now turn. I've sewn this one, so I'm going to sew this. Make sure your handle is not twisted. Make sure it's straight in when sewing. Position it at that point, and I'm going to sew. Sewing on that stitch made before previously. I'll turn. So I only put my needle down when I want to make any turn. Continue sewing on that line. So know where you are going to stop. I'm just going to measure out 1 and 2/4, 1 and this. I'll just place the tape here. I'll just move it just 1 stitch. Then I will raise my foot like this and turn. Now I'm going to sew a straight line. After sewing this box shape on this, you can make a cross on it. So it all depends on what you want. So I'll finish sewing the second time. I'm just going to back stitch here and raise my foot, then remove the thread and cut out this thread that is sticking out. I'm going to be attaching my logo on it. I'm going to be putting this handmade logo. So the first thing I'm going to do this, I'm going to get the measurement of this from the setter. Total width is 14 inches. Middle of this bag is going to be 7 inches. I'm just going to take about 7 inches and make a mark. You can fold into 2 like this, and you can cut a notch, a small notch. This is a notch, so I folded into 2 and cut a notch. So when we make a measurement of this, it's still going to be 7 inches, which means we are right. So now where we are going to attach this, I'll just get 3.5 inches, then I'll make a mark with my pen because this logo is going to cover it up. Ensure that the center of this logo is at the middle of that mark I made, like this. Then I'll kind of press it, okay, so that these props here will be impressed on the leather. Once I've pressed it like this, I'm going to use my pen to emphasize the marks, and then I will take my seam ripper, cut some tiny holes on it, not too big, because if it's too big, your logo will fall out. So just make it so tiny. I'll take this and kind of pass it through it. If it's too small, you can also go ahead and make it a bit wider. Just make it a bit wider. Then try and put it in again to see if it's going to go through it. So this is it. Press. Guys, to make it more kind of secured, I'm going to be using this piece of leather. So I'm just going to be putting some holes on it, and I will take it and pass it like this. This will make it kind of secure and tight. So this one that it comes with, I'll just pass it through it like this and use my hand to press it close. That's it. And the logo fixed. So guys, I've finished sewing the handles to the bag. You can see how beautiful the logo is. So lovely, handmade. So I'm just going to put them together like this, and you can clip in place. When you find out that the foam is getting on the way, you can trim off the foam from the edges. I'm just going to sew from this point to this point with half an inch back stitch first. To the edge, you can stitch again. So I want to sew this other part to this now. So just hold it in place like this. I hold it in place. So I'm also going to clip this one in place. Trying to get my clips. Okay. So I'm going to sew from this point to this point at half-inch seam allowance. So you back stitch first.
Don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would.
Guys, I've sewn this and I've also sewn this. Okay, I'm going to sew this now. I'll ensure that the levels are the same. So you're going to put them on the same level or position like this, then you clip them in place. So once I've done it like this, I'm going to sew on it with half seam allowance, leaving this part open, this part. So I'm sewing at half seam allowance. Going to back stitch. Next I'm going to do, I'm going to braid it like this, ensuring that this one here, this one is at the same level with this one. Okay, so I'm just going to join it up like this, and I will clip it and clip this also. So I'm going to sew half an inch seam allowance on it.
If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe.
Guys, I'm going to sew this other one. Let's say what I did before. Place this one on this like this. Make sure they are touching each other. Then you can clip in place. Trying to get my clips. So I'm going to sew on this. I'm going to back stitch first. Back stitch. I finished sewing this side, so let me turn it inside out. You can see we've now sewed the lining. I just want you to see what the outside, the external looks like. It's the very first time I'm sewing a quilted bag without the chain handle. I'm using a leather handle for it. Okay, so I want to see how it's going to turn out. Use your fingers. This is my finger here. You poke out these corners. Alright, after this I'm going to be sewing the lining to it. Before I sew the lining, we are going to be preparing the zipper panel. this is it without the lining yet. We've not sewn the lining.
Guys, thanks for watching today's video. So this is the part 1 of this video. Next upload is going to be the part 2 because I really don't want it to be too long so that it does not become boring, you understand, as I always say. So watch out for the part 2 of this video. So in the part 2 we are going to be learning how to put the lining together, including the top zipper closure. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't,